You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right. So Bill Cosby, man, going through it. Going through it big time right now. As it is a lot of stuff that has been going on with Bill Cosby. And I'm going to start by speaking on um, how this all pretty much, I would say, I'm going to speak on the first situation with Bill Cosby, which was the criminal, right? Because all of this stuff kind of uh, bunches up together, right? If you really look at it. So basically, Bill Cosby, right? Um, we already know that he did prison time behind a lot of different allegations. Or, I'll just give y'all the breakdown. In criminal court, he was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault, right? Second degree felony in Pennsylvania, related to 2004 allegations by the woman named Andrea Constant. Now, Andrea Constant was a former employee at Temple University's women's basketball team. Now, she accused Bill Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting her at his home in Cheltenham Township, Pennsylvania, near Philadelphia, back in January of 2004. Now, she alleged that Bill Cosby gave her pills, which she believed were for her stress. But she says he gave her pills and he gave her wine, after which she became incapacitated. Now, while she was drifting in and out of consciousness and unable to resist, she claims that Bill Cosby penetrated her with his fingers without her consent. Now, in December of 2015, a Montgomery County prosecutor's office charged Bill Cosby with 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. Now, these stemmed from the same single incident, but covered different aspects of the alleged non-consensual sexual contact while the victim was unconscious or unaware due to intoxication. Now, each count was a Class 2 felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $25,000 fine. So in the first trial in June of 2017, it ended in a mistrial as the jury was deadlocked on this thing. Then at the retrial in April of 2018, a jury found Bill Cosby guilty on all 3 counts after deliberations. Prosecutors, they presented testimony from Mrs. Constant and introduced evidence from other women under Pennsylvania Rule 404B. They did that to show a pattern of the similar type of behavior. Now, Bill Cosby's prior civil deposition testimony, he admitted to giving pills, right? Quaaludes, Quaaludes, however you pronounce it. He admitted to giving pills to women for sex, right? So his testimony, his prior civil deposition testimony, was also used against him. Now, Bill Cosby got sentenced from 3 to 10 years in state prison on September 25th, 2018. The 3 counts were merged for sentencing purposes by agreement of the parties, so he did not receive consecutive maximum sentences. He was also ordered to pay a $25,000 fine plus approximately $43,611 in prosecution costs. Now, the judge classified him as a sexually violent predator, requiring lifetime sex register offender registration, monthly check-ins, and community notification, right? So, this was the only criminal conviction that Bill Cosby ever faced. He was accused by dozens of women over 60 public allegations of similar patterns involving drugging, sexual assault, but no other cases had resulted in criminal charges or trial. because many were beyond the statutes of limitations at that time. Now, on June the 30th, 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned the conviction and ordered Bill Cosby's immediate release after he had served nearly 3 years. The ruling was based on a due process violation. Now, in 2005, the Montgomery County District Attorney, Bruce Castor, publicly announced that he would not prosecute Bill Cosby due to insufficient evidence at the time. Bill Cosby relied on his apparent promise of a non-prosecution when he gave incriminating testimony in a related civil lawsuit filed by Mrs. Constant, without invoking his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. That civil case right there settled for over $3 million. A later prosecutor used the deposition testimony to bring criminal charges. The court ruled this breached the earlier assurance, violating Bill Cosby's fundamental fairness rights. As a remedy, the conviction was vacated and Bill Cosby could not be retried on those specific charges. So the Supreme Court declined to review the case in 2022, making the overturn final. Bill Cosby constantly denied the allegations, maintaining that the sexual encounters were consensual, right? So he had no other criminal convictions against him or charges since then. But now comes this. So Bill Cosby was ordered to pay $59 million. Let me excuse that. He was ordered to pay $59.25 million in a civil judgment in March of this year after a California jury found him liable for drugging and sexually assaulting a woman by the name of Donna Mostinger. In 1972, he has not paid it and is not, So he was accused of assaulting this woman back in 1972, sexually and drugging her. So he has not paid the judgment, right, of $59.25 million. And now he's contesting the judgment through an appeal with his legal team describing the verdict as the result of an unfair trial, and they vowed to fight it, right? So the woman, whose name is Donna Montsinger, she was a former waitress at the Sausalito, California restaurant. She alleged in 1972 that Bill Cosby invited her to one of his comedy shows. She claims he picked her up in a limousine, gave her wine, a pill that incapacitated her, and then sexually assaulted her. She filed a civil lawsuit in 2023 that was enabled by California's laws extending statute of limitations for sexual assault claims, retroactive application of which Bill Cosby's team later challenged, right? So, being that this is a civil case, the standard of proof was preponderance of the evidence rather than beyond a reasonable doubt in criminal court. Bill Cosby, who was 88 years old, denied these allegations as he has with dozens of similar accusations from numerous other women. Also, he didn't even testify at the trial. The case was heard in Santa Monica, California, with deliberations spanning about 2 days or into a third day per some reports. Now, the jury found Bill Cosby liable for sexual battery and assault. Y'all smash that like button as y'all listen to this report right here. Hit that like button. So the awarded damages were put in two phases. The first phase, $19.25 million in compensatory damages. for past and future pain and suffering, mental trauma, which was specifically broken down in some reports as 17.5 million past plus 1.75 million future. And also, the second part, he was hit with $40 million in punitive damage to punish and deter. So the total that Bill Cosby has to pay is 59 million, almost $60 million, right? So this is reportedly the largest judgment Bill Cosby has ever faced in any of his civil cases stemming from the allegations against him. Now, an expert witness for the woman estimated that Bill Cosby's net worth was roughly at $128 million at the time of this trial. Bill Cosby has publicly stated that he has faced financial difficulties in recent years, post his criminal conviction. Imprisonment, and loss of reputation, work. His lawyer argued during the trial, that he posed no ongoing threat, describing him as a blind 88-year-old man who can't even leave his house, and contested the basis for such large punitive damages. Now, Bill Cosby's attorney, Jennifer Bonjon, immediately stated after the verdict that the team was disappointed and that they would appeal. She said that Bill Cosby was denied a fair trial. No one can meaningfully defend against allegations that are a half a century old. This case exemplifies how retroactive abolition of, or I should say, abolition of statute of limitations cannot be reconciled with due process, right? The jury was bombarded with uncharged, unproven accusations, turning the proceedings into a trial of Mr. Cosby's character rather than an evaluation of the plaintiff's claims. The outcome was a profound failure of the legal system and sets a dangerous precedent, she said. An appeal is forthcoming, and she also indicated a plan to challenge the size of the award, right? So, as of this time, Bill Cosby is outraged from the reports, right? And I want y'all to hear some of what happened when they came up out of that. Let's get to that.
For the woman in 1972, and they ordered him to pay her more than $19 million. That amount could grow in a punitive damages phase that's happening now in the case. The allegations in this case from the plaintiff, Donna Monsinger, are very similar to dozens of others that have been made against Cosby through the years. She says she was working as a waitress at a restaurant in Sausalito near San Francisco, that he invited her to come to his comedy show that evening, that she went with him and he gave her 2 pills that he said were aspirin. And she said that, the next thing she knew, she woke up in her own home with little memory of what had gone on, but she was certain that she'd been raped and drugged by Cosby. One of the witnesses at this trial was a woman named Andrea Constance. She was the one who Cosby was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting in Pennsylvania, but that conviction was thrown out and he was released from prison back in 2021. Cosby has denied these allegations as he has all of the others against him. His lawyers say that Monsinger had no way of knowing what actually happened to her that night, that her allegations are all based on speculation. They say they fully plan to appeal in this case.
Now, I want to go to this. You heard that. Because something happened, right? And I just said this a second ago, but I want to reiterate this because this was a very important aspect. Now, Bill Cosby, what happened was, you guys, and he is outraged about this, and I think this is what hurt him the most, to be honest with y'all. Bill Cosby admitted under oath in a 2005-2006 civil deposition that he obtained quaaludes, right? Which is a powerful sedative with the specific intent of giving them to young women he wanted to have sex with. Let me repeat that again. Now, I want to repeat that again because I don't think that people gotta like everybody say, hey man, Ticket man, they targeting black men, man. They targeting black men, Ticket. Bro, listen, they got this man on his own deposition, right? They got him saying this on his own deposition. And I want to do justice by this story. But damn it, if these people, and see, listen, I know Bill Cosby's a legend in a lot of people's minds and their hearts, right? I know he's a legend. But the man admitted it himself. That's why his case got overturned, because he didn't think they was going to be able to use that against him in his trial. I think that people got to understand this stuff, man. So let me show y'all this. I think this aspect is very important for people, because there's going to be people that come and, they're going to comment and they're going to say certain things and they're going to say, hey, Chicken, man, come on, man. Why are you guys turning down black men, man? I'm telling you, man. No. We're not finna do that. I'm finna come over here with factual information. And that's all I'm coming with. And you can go look up the articles yourself. It's right there in plain day, right? Bill Cosby admitted. Let me repeat myself again. He admitted in a sworn deposition that he obtained these powerful sedative pills with the specific intent of giving them to young women he wanted to have sex with. So that deposition was taken in a civil lawsuit filed by the same woman that he got into it with the criminal situation with, Andrea Constant. Now, the same case that later led to the 2018 criminal conviction, which was overturned in 2021. Portions were unsealed and released to the public in 2015, right? So Bill Cosby obtained 7 prescriptions. 7, right? He obtained 7 prescriptions for this same medicine, Quaaludes, in the 1970s, over about 2 to 3 years, from a Los Angeles doctor, a gynecologist he met at a poker game. He claimed the prescriptions were officially for a sore back, but he never took any himself because they made him sleepy. When asked, when you got the Quaaludes, was it in your mind that you were going to use these Quaaludes for young women that you wanted to have sex with? And Bill Cosby said yes. He said yes. He described offering these drugs to women the same as a person would say, have a drink. He said he gave the Quaaludes to at least one woman identified in some reports as Mrs. T or Therese Serignis, and to other people after which they had sex. One example he gave, she meets me backstage. I give her Quaaludes, then we have sex. End quote. These are quotes. He admitted he did not take the drugs himself and used them in his efforts to have sex with women. In the same deposition, Bill Cosby also described giving Andrea Constant 3 half pills of Benadryl, not Quaaludes, when she complained of stress. He said she took them voluntarily and became high. He claimed that there was consent. He maintained that the woman knew that they were taking drugs or accepted them like a drink, and that the sexual encounters were consensual. He denied drugging anyone without their knowledge or against their will. He denied being a sexual predator or committing assault. When asked if one woman could consent after taking drugs, he replied, I don't know. He has never admitted to non consensual drugging or assault. The admission is about obtaining and giving the sedatives with the intent to facilitate sex. But he has constantly denied the allegations of incapacitating women without consent. Many accusers, including in dozens of civil claims, allege he gave them pills secretly or misrepresented what they were taking, leading to unconsciousness and inability to resist. This was used against him in his criminal trial. Portions of the deposition were read to the jury in his 2018 retrial for the Constant case. One juror later said Bill Cosby's own words about giving the Quaaludes to women in order to have sex with them were influential in the guilty verdict, which was later overturned due to due process grounds unrelated to the deposition content. So it was unrelated to that. My fault. It was unrelated to overturn, but it was technical issue that he got his case overturned. Now, right? And so they did that interview. That's up. So, right? Bill Cosby's deposition, them using that, it kind of backfired, it seemed like, right? It actually, I ain't gonna say it kind of, it did. I mean, it really did backfire on his ass. That tore his ass up. So now his legal team, they've been on one. I mean, they've been pissed. Let's talk about it.
Something from 1972. You gave me 2 months.
Hold on, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this right now, you guys. I want to get to this. Hold on. This is very important. All right. This is something I see very important. Hold on. Because I think that this is something that need to be thoroughly cooked on. Let me get y'all to this.
Surprised by this verdict, because to be clear, my legal point of view, this wasn't a slam dunk case. You have an 84-year-old victim talking about something from 1972, no text, no surveillance, right? No forensics about, even that, given that time and place. But the jury still believed this happened.
Well, I think it sets the wrong precedent. Decade-old allegations. I never saw this amount happen. And remember, Mr. Cosby had a civil trial in Los Angeles in 2023 with Judy Huff, and the jury awarded only $500,000. But here's the problem. Mr. Cosby has been an inheritance of two major global movements in the world. In 2018, he inherited Me Too. And right now, he's the inheritance of the Epstein saga. And I think jurors now, they're already tainted. Their minds already.
So you don't think they made a decision based on the evidence?
Well, I think they looked at the evidence, but when you look at decade-old evidence that's over 40 plus years old, I think, and with no evidence of proof, I just believe a lot of these jurors' minds are made up about these celebrities and powerful men to say, I believe that they did it.
Do you think that his defense counsel should have done something differently? How do you think they did?
Well, I think what they should have done after the 2023 trial with Judy Huff, I went to Mr. and Mrs. Cosby, and my strategy for them was to do a garden variety settlement. Come up with a settlement number and settle out these matters, especially at his age, his health, settle them out. And I think he could have gotten out of this, all of these lawsuits was selling out for maybe $20-25 million. But right now, he's already appealed the Judy Huff verdict. He had to put up $1 million appeal bond. In this verdict, he's going to have to put up $59 million plus 50% of that amount, and then it will accrue interest. I don't think he has the money to do that.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, so look, with an appeal, it can, pause handing out the judgment. But he doesn't have any of that kind of money. I mean, he was a very successful entertainer. He doesn't have it anymore.
Well, when you look at it, I think the courts made him turn over all of his financials as well as Mrs. Cosby and everything that they put into a trust to make sure that they didn't put money into the trust while these civil lawsuits was pending, because that would be considered fraudulent. So based on all of that, his net worth is around an estimated $128 million. There's no money coming in for Mr. Cosby at this point in time. I think saying that they're going to appeal and doing the appeal, it puts him in a situation to go back to Ms. Motzinger counsel and say, look, you guys have been working on the contingency. You want to get paid. Look at her age and her health. Let's settle this matter out. Yeah. Will she take $20 million? I think that's the strategy behind all of this.
Why do you think he didn't testify? Tell his side of the story.
Because, look, think about your grandparent. Mr. Cosby is 88 years old. He has no filter. And when he gets to talking, he's a storyteller. And sometimes he might talk a little bit too much. And he might ramble a little bit too much.
That's horrible. See, I want to play this for y'all. That's a horrible ass lawyer. You're going to go on national TV, on the goddamn News Nation network, and you going to tell them, oh, well, Bill Cosby, he ain't testified because he get to rambling and talking way too much. Nigga, you telling them that he guilty. I'd have fired his ass. Sitting up there talking about something, hey, man, I think the intention is to try to get it down to 20. Because, see, his net worth is 128. But 60 million, I think we could talk to him. Bro, I swear to God, man. I swear to God, bro. When I heard this, bro, I had to come live. I said, man, ain't no way that man said that. And Bill Cosby been heated about this judgment right here. The other judgments, 3 million, something like that, they hit this dude with a whopper, right? But he's sitting up there talking about, he asked this man straight up. Bro, that is as your lawyer. Is this his lawyer? I hope this ain't his lawyer. Whoever this is talking, or it might be his publicist, I don't know who it is. But whoever this is talking on his behalf, man, this man done lost his damn mind. There ain't no way you go on the news and say this. He said, why didn't Bill Cosby testify in his own trial? This man said, oh, because Bill get to talking too much, man. He get to rambling, and, you know, he might say something, man. What you mean? What you mean? Bro. And these mofos be, hey, man, y'all trying to throw nothing black. Man, it's just crazy work, man.
Side of the story.
Because, look, think about your grandparent. Mr. Cosby is 88 years old. He has no filter. And when he gets to talking, he's a storyteller. And sometimes he might talk a little bit too much. And he might ramble a little bit too much. Not to say that he doesn't have a sharp mind. I just think it would have been very risky. And you have to also think about,
risky
he has
for what?
a total right now of over 10 civil suits pending between Nevada.
Now, he told it all right there. Bill Cosby got over 10 pending civil suits. They know if they get hit with that 60 million, it's over. He only worth 128. They know them other people, man, take his ass to the cleaners. So if you really think about what's going on right here, this man, they don't throw him under the bus. They threw him under the bus. They threw him under the bus. And he just said, peep what he said, that destroyed Bill Cosby. Because he said, hey, if he get up there, he going to get to rambling, man. He might say too much. What you mean say too much? So what, it'll help somebody else case against him? That's why I be trying to tell y'all. Everybody came in here. I want y'all to think about this. I want everybody to think about what I just said to y'all. Y'all know I'll cook anybody. I don't care who it is. They get cooked 3 the hard way. You won't cap. The same thing y'all did with me with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson said, if you got a problem with me laying in the bed with your kid, your underage kid, you're wacky. Michael Jackson said that. He said it was okay for him to sleep in the bed with underage kids. And y'all sat up there and defended that. Oh, come on, Ticket Man. You can't be going at Michael, man. I love Michael, man. Man, listen, man, I love God, nigga. Period. Way more than Michael Jackson. Or Bill Cosby. This man, representative, just went on. Bro, you cannot beat this with a stick. And then he told everything. He said, oh yeah, because he got 10 pending lawsuits. Are you serious? So he admitted this man's net worth is $120-something million. So if he get hit with that half, man, he done. By the time the rest of them get him, that nigga ain't gonna have no money. And he already told you they couldn't just put it in the trust fund. Why? Why couldn't they just put it in the trust fund? Because that would have been fraud. They'd have got caught up. I feel bad, man. You got somebody to come on and say this?
Look, think about your grandparent. Mr. Cosby is 88 years old. He has no filter. And when he gets to talking, he's a storyteller. And sometimes he might talk a little bit too much. And he might ramble a little bit too much. Not to say that he doesn't have a sharp mind. I just think it would have been very risky. And you have to also think about, he has a total right now of over 10 civil suits pending between Nevada. He has more in California. He has New York and New Jersey. It's just too risky right now.
And 10 seconds, you haven't spoken to him since the verdict, I understand, but real quick, 10 seconds, how do you think he's reacting to this?
Well, I know how he's reacting. I know they're distraught, because they were trying to leave something behind, a legacy behind for their grandchildren. So I know what they're saying. I know
that's what it's all about. He thought that Bill Cosby was going to leave something behind for his grandchildren. Man, them people going to come in there and take all that money, bro. They're going to come in there and take all of that money. This man got over 10 civil cases, and they set the standard by hitting them with that 60. You watch, they're going to take all his cheese. And you can't, and guess what? You can't beat this with a stick. They got him on tape. They got this man on tape in a deposition. This is why all the women gonna get paid. See, everybody, y'all gotta pay attention to the details and do your homework. This is why all them over 10 pending lawsuits, they finna all get paid in full. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. And I don't want to hear about this as a concerted effort to take money from the rich. This ain't no concerted effort. The man said it himself. Sit down and shut the hell up. Talking about the black community need to speak up. I don't speak up for nobody who's a goddamn predator, sir. I don't do that shit, sir. I don't do that shit, sir. I don't do it. I'm sorry. I don't roll like that, right? His case was overturned, but the man admitted in a deposition that he gave. Now, he said he didn't violate the woman, but they out here winning lawsuits. They out here getting settlements. The hell is wrong with you? The hell is wrong with you? I know something's wrong with you mentally. Period. The hell is wrong with these people? You have people whose minds are poisoned. This is the same type of stuff that you see with Donald Trump followers. Their minds are poisoned. They are so in love with celebrity status. Their morals, ethics go out the way. I don't care about nothing else. They say, oh, man, come on, man. You got to look at it. Man, hell no, bro. He ain't playing that shit, man. And his lawyer, his representative just went on News Nation the other week and said, yo, he didn't testify because he get to talking, man. He got a sharp mind, but he get to talking way too much. And he got a whole lot of pending cases. He just told you. He just told you. Right? I want y'all to think about this. This is diabolical work. And then this heifer gonna come in here and tell me, hey man, it's a concerted effort to try to take it. Man, these niggas is on cap. Cut it out. They on cap. I don't have no reason to come in here and kick no lie to you. None. I don't have to play that game. And there's no reason to play that game. And I tell y'all this all the time, right? I tell y'all this all the time. Right? But y'all get mad at me for keeping it 100. Y'all get mad at me. They will get mad at me for telling the goddamn truth. Right? Think about what I just said to y'all. Right? That man admitted, and I have no reason to come in here and cap with nobody. And I'm talking about Michael Jackson. He admitted And I'm so sad that we have people that still go along with this because these same people say they wouldn't even let their kids do it. Make it make sense. Where are we at as just people in this world that have any kind of common sense? I really want y'all to think about this. Where are we at? Why are we here? What is the purpose? I want y'all to really think about what I'm saying. You don't have to believe me in anything I'm saying. Just look it up yourself. Seek and you gonna find. But these mofos are coming here and get mad at me for saying, oh, hell no, I ain't with that shit, man. Man, hell, I'm not with no kids sleeping in my bed, man. You crazy? Play that shit, bruh. Cut from a different cloth. I'm cut from a different cloth. And they treat these people out their mind and got these people poisoned with, oh, this is celebrity, man. I don't give a fuck what it is. Because when you check about this world, that shit don't mean nothing. I'm telling y'all this. And I had people literally coming in here getting mad at me trying to defend this type of shit, man. Think about where our world is at. Think about it. Well, you got a guy like Donald Trump that can run around here and say the stuff he say, got the type of allegations he got, and people still walking around here going to work like everything cool. Are y'all crazy? Are you crazy? These people are out of their mind. They out of their mind. Donald Trump out there telling the girl, it's a video that's online today. He telling the girl, you in great shape. Are you serious? The girl jumping up and down. He gets off the golf court and tell her, hey, you in great shape. Stop this. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. And then you got people who say this stuff, man. I'll just be real with you, man. You know what I mean? This is the reason why. You did? And that lawyer or that representative, he already know. They finna hit him. He even said himself. He said, well, why didn't Bill Cosby go up there and speak on his own behalf? He was like, man, you know, he gonna get to talking, man, and he, you know, talk a little bit too much, say too much. We got other cases. He wanted to leave something. He just told you he wanted to leave something for a legacy for his kids. I'm sorry. I stand on truth before anything else. I don't give a damn. You get mad, I don't care what you do.
From 2005 shows for the first time the embattled and once beloved comedian made a disturbing admission about.
Listen, y'all. Listen what he's saying. Is everybody tapped in?
Sex and drugs. More than 2,000 women have accused Cosby of sexual abuse for drugging them. Allegations he's always denied. So what now? Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis, who's covered this story from the start.
Tonight, a bombshell document citing Bill Cosby in his own words, saying yes when asked if he purchased prescription sedatives to give to young women he wanted to have sex with. The apparent admission coming to light after a judge released a motion from the plaintiff's attorney from a 2005 sexual abuse lawsuit brought against the embattled comedian by Andrea Constant. According to the motion, Cosby testified in 2005 that he gave the drug Quaaludes to at least one woman and, quote, other people.
You can understand why Bill Cosby's lawyers didn't want this to come out. It looks terrible for him. Even if no one can use this to sue Bill Cosby or prosecute Bill Cosby, it eliminates any argument that Bill Cosby has just been an innocent victim.
Listen to all these things. And I'm just saying.
Of women looking to make a buck and the media out to get him.
Constant was the first in what became an onslaught of women filing, accusing Bill Cosby of sexual abuse or drugging them. She accused him of drugging and abusing her inside his home while she was employed at his alma mater, Temple University. Tonight, the attorney representing 3 other women suing Cosby told us they feel these developments are a victory.
They are very, very happy. They look forward to the opportunity to present their case in court and to have the truth be told.
2 months ago, I sat down with Bill Cosby for an exclusive interview. He refused to address the allegations directly.
It's interesting. This is a situation that's unprecedented. My family, my friends, I have been in this business 52 years, and I've never seen anything like this. And reality is the situation. And I can't speak.
The man, formerly known as America's favorite dad, was facing down a barrage of accusations from more than 24 women.
Bill Cosby made me a victim. Mr. Cosby drugged me.
Who've all come forward over the past year claiming they were drugged or sexually assaulted by Cosby, in most cases, decades ago.
He flipped me over and sexually assaulted me.
His behavior was like that of a predator.
Cosby's legal team has issued a number of denials to these allegations, and Cosby has never been criminally charged. Instead, the subject of a media firestorm.
If you feel that the media has been fair.
Let's leave that alone.
Okay, all right,
Because that's a fight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Prior to tonight's developments, despite the mountain of allegations against Bill Cosby, there are those who have stood by him all the while, including Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad.
What has happened is declaration in the media of guilt without proof.
How would you explain to people who've never met him who Bill Cosby is?
He is an intellectual. He is generous. He's kind.
It's yet to be seen if Cosby's biggest supporters will continue to stand by him. But many tonight are wondering if and how this newly unearthed document will affect the charges against him.
This is a big deal to know that Bill Cosby's admitted that he gave quaaludes to a woman. As a legal matter, this may not change much with regard to any civil lawsuits or the prospect of any potential criminal lawsuits because of the statute of limitations.
For some, the fact that this document is being exposed at all is a win.
This sheds a new light on the truthfulness of those statements of Mr. Cosby and his spokespeople.
In the pages of the document, other details. Cosby's testimony alludes that he called his agent at the William Morris Agency and asked him to send money to a witness. When asked if he thought one witness would go to the press with the story after he sent her the money, Cosby responds, no. Actress Beverly Johnson shares what she says happened to her.
He placed his hands on my waist.
Describing an incident at Cosby's house when she says he drugged her drink. Tonight, Johnson reacting to the document release, saying, I'm not at all surprised. Truth does not have an expiration date. I hope his admission will give all women the courage to find their voice and speak up. I am desensitized. It didn't take this for me to know my truth.
I took a couple of sips of the cappuccino, and from the first sip and then the second sip, I knew I had been drugged. I feel very lucky that I wasn't raped. I don't think I was raped, but I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I got upstairs. I would imagine it was my doorman that took me out of the taxi and got me upstairs. It was almost like a family member had betrayed me. It was such a huge sense of betrayal for me.
The details of her story are similar to alleged incidents described by other women who say Cosby drugged them too.
But he had no right to do that.
There was a time that I was at dinner at his brownstone, and I had one glass of wine, and the next thing I knew, I was slumped over the toilet throwing up. I was sick. I was confused. I was foggy. I had really no idea what was happening.
The next thing I remember, I was on the couch and he was removing my underwear.
Late tonight, Bill Cosby's PR team releasing to ABC News a statement about the deposition. The only reason Mr. Cosby settled was because it would have been embarrassing in those days to put all those women on the stand, and his family had no clue. That would have been very hurtful. For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis in New York.
Did you hear what they said? Why he said that? That was their quote. But y'all get it. These motherfuckers get mad at me. Saying what's real. Now, Bill Cosby and them mad because they got hit with a $60 million judgment. And you heard what old dude said. He was like, hey, man, he wanted to leave something behind for his kids. He still got over 10 pending lawsuits. That's crazy. I ain't even know that. I ain't know Bill Cosby had over 10 pending lawsuits. I thought this was it. He said he got more in California. He got some in Vegas. God, dog. Bruh, that blew my socks off when I seen and heard that. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Storm surrounds Bill Cosby, but this time it's because of his own words and not the accusations of others. Cosby's confessions about drugs, sex, and young women in newly released documents are eye-opening and leave many feeling betrayed. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Anything to say to your accusers, Mr. Cosby?
It's a bombshell 1,000-page deposition. In it, Bill Cosby describes the sexual relationship he had with Andrea Constand, who has accused him of drugging and sexually abusing her. Cosby describes one of their sexual encounters, stating, "I don't hear her say anything, so I continue and go to the area that is somewhere between permission and rejection." Cosby describes the encounter as consensual, a romantic evening, dinner by the fireplace, complete with cognac. Cosby says, "I walk her out. She does not look angry. She does not say to me, 'Don't ever do that again.'" The sweeping deposition, taken over a 4-day period at a Philadelphia hotel in 2005, describes Cosby's sexual encounters with at least 5 women, fueling an exploding scandal involving more than 24 women accusing the legendary comedian of abuse.
He flipped me over and sexually assaulted me.
His behavior was like that of a predator.
His testimony, published this weekend, was part of Constand's lawsuit. She accused Cosby of drugging and molesting her inside his home while she was employed at his alma mater, Temple University. In it, he says, "I think that I'm a pretty decent reader of people and their emotions in these romantic sexual things, whatever you want to call them." In the deposition, Cosby's demeanor appearing almost casual to Constand's attorney, who remarked, "I think you're making light of a very serious situation." Cosby replying, "That may very well be."
What we really got to see in this deposition was his attitudes towards the whole thing. He was even chastised by the opposing counsel for not treating it seriously. That's what's really going to hurt him.
Never charged with sexual assault in any of the alleged incidents, Cosby settled the Constant case out of court. A source close to the comedian told ABC News he did so to avoid embarrassment for himself and his family. 2 months ago, I sat down with him for an exclusive interview where he refused to address the allegations directly.
It's interesting. This is a situation that's unprecedented. My family, my friends, I have been in this business 52 years, and I've never seen anything like this. And reality is the situation. And I can't speak.
In a deposition, Cosby admits to obtaining drugs to provide to young women. The attorney asks, "When you got the Quaaludes, was it in your mind you were going to use these Quaaludes for young women that you wanted to have sex with?" Cosby answers, "Yes." Cosby stated he never took drugs or drank alcohol himself during these encounters, adding that he would offer those Quaaludes to others the same as a person would say, "Have a drink." Cosby denies that he ever gave drugs to women without their consent. Tonight, Linda Kirkpatrick, who in January came forward to accuse Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting her in the 80s, is speaking out.
I didn't want sex from him, with him, about him, around him.
Kirkpatrick was not one of the women mentioned in the deposition, but says she feels this is her "I told you so" moment.
He was making a mockery of the whole situation, and then, in my opinion, being coached on the sideline of what to say and how to say it. His futile efforts to hide his own testimony from the public have been unsuccessful. And now the truth is out, and he's never going to be able to keep this secret anymore.
Gloria Allred represents 17 Cosby accusers and has a pending civil suit against Cosby.
We're interested in having him tell the whole truth. And I don't intend to stop until we get it.
It's quite a fall from grace for the man once known as America's favorite dad. A nickname he earned playing the lovable father on The Cosby Show.
My lips are sealed.
Mine too. His wholesome public persona translating into a famous endorsement deal with Jell-O.
Mom, you know how the kids love Jell-O pudding.
He was a philanthropist and strong advocate of civil rights, but this squeaky clean image was quickly shattered as the sexual assault allegations came pouring in.
Bill Cosby was probably the most important African-American person on TV in his day. Along the way, he did a lot of good things, and all that is for naught now. You realize that the emperor has no clothes, and what Bill Cosby says and what Bill Cosby does have absolutely no correlation. There is no morality in this man, and so he can no longer make moral positions.
At the height of his wealth and fame, the document paints the portrait of an intensely private man who demanded that his support staff sign confidentiality agreements. He also describes idiosyncrasies, like his collection of at least 100 sweatpants. Cosby admits to offering some of the women career advice in pursuit of sex, concealing payments through his agent, even asking one of the alleged victims questions about her father's death from cancer to get close to her. The storm of controversy has led to public scorn for the comedian. Cosby, now the butt of the joke, even at the Golden Globes.
And into the woods, Cinderella runs from her prince. Rapunzel is thrown from a tower for her prince. And Sleeping Beauty just thought she was getting coffee with Bill Cosby. I put the pills in the people. The people did not want the pills in them.
Now, with this recently released deposition, some are calling to revoke Cosby's Medal of Freedom. President Obama responded without naming the comedian.
If you give a woman, or a man for that matter, without his or her knowledge, a drug, and then have sex with that person without consent, that's rape. I think this country, any civilized country, should have no tolerance for rape.
As the controversy picks up steam, even old friends like Whoopi Goldberg.
All of the information that's out there kind of points to guilt.
Are rethinking their support.
It looks bad, Bill. Either speak up or shut up. Because people know now that there's a lot more out there than they thought.
Cosby denied our request for an interview, but one of his lawyers told the Philadelphia Inquirer that the release of the deposition is a violation of the confidentiality agreement, adding, how that deposition became public without being court-sanctioned is something we are going to pursue and deal with very vigorously.
There is no way to restore his legacy. You can't separate his achievements from his dastardly acts at this point. It's a true lack of morality, and he will take that to the grave.
For Nightline, I'm Lindsay Davis.
Excuse me, sir. You said that you agree with me most of the time, but you disagree with me on this one. I ask you why. I ask you why, sir. In all seriousness, I ask you why, sir. You say you disagree with me, and all I did was play to you his own words and his team's words. Did you read the deposition? Did you read the deposition? I'm going to ask you again. Did you read the deposition? Right? Did you read the deposition? That's a yes or no question. I'm waiting on your answer, sir. Right? I'm waiting on your answer. Because you cap it. Right? Right? I'm waiting. See, we ain't talking about somebody else. I'm asking you a question, so I'm waiting on you to answer. Because I'm about to cook your ass. So I'm respectfully letting you answer. Respectfully. You said you didn't, but you heard the case. Okay, if you didn't, shut the fuck up. Respectfully. If you didn't, shut the fuck up. Respectfully. You didn't hear his own words, but you talking about you heard the case. This is the stupidity of America. This is the stupidity of America. Look what he said. He says, no, but I heard the case. This is the stupidity of America. This is the dumbing down of America. A mofo will come in here, hey man, I can disagree with you on this one. Take it. Why, nigga? Because you praise celebrities? Get off your knees, brother. Just keep it 100. I have no emotional attachment to these people. Don't what they do on a fucking TV show make me feel away. If you scum in real life. I ask you a question, sir. So if you didn't even, and I want to show y'all this with these people, because this is a teachable moment for the entire world. A very teachable moment. How in the blue hell can this man come in here and say he disagreed with me and he did not even, and let me say it again with a straight face, he did not even read Bill Cosby's deposition. How can, I want everybody to think about this in the comment section. How can a person come in here and say to me, yeah, Ticket, I disagree with you on this one. Nigga, did you read his own deposition? That is not what Tom, Dick, and Harry said. Nigga, it's what he said. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, bro. Did you read, so since you didn't read the deposition, you want to come here? Because see, he got hit with a $60 million judgment. And the representative that was on TV sat right here and told you. What did he say, sir? He said, oh man, see, we could try to settle down and get 20 million, but he trying to leave a legacy for his kids. And he got over 10 more pending cases. But y'all see the stupidity of these people that come in here and want to argue with me. It's diabolical work. But since he didn't read the deposition, I'm gonna give y'all some of the details that was in that damn deposition. Because it's a shame that these guys don't even, they come on YouTube and get mad at you, don't even know what the hell they talking about. It is a sad situation. It's a sad situation. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I just want to know. I'm asking y'all. I'm asking y'all. Let me know. Hold on. He says this, y'all. Hold on 1 second. He says, I follow you and I agree with you, but there's more to the case. No, it's not. I'm going to tell you why it's not more to the case. I'm going to show you what his team was mad his deposition got put out. So did you know that he admitted that he would give girls pills with the intent of having sex with them, but he would never take them himself? Did you know that? He admitted that in a sworn deposition that he thought never would be revealed to the world. Did you know that? Did you know that? I'm asking you a question, sir. Tony Ma 40, did you know that? This is classic praising celebrities, y'all. Classic. So I'm asking y'all this. I'm asking you a question. Tell me in the comments, y'all. Please, somebody tell me. I'm waiting to see what he going. So this is what they say, right, y'all? These are the lame ass excuses these people give. Y'all seeing it right here. It's sad, bro. We got to get out of that mentality, man. Cause you really, sir, you don't personally know these people, man. You don't personally know these people, man. This is the same thing they do with Donald Trump, bro. They do the same playbook with Donald Trump. What do they do with Donald Trump, everybody? What's the Donald Trump playbook? Can't nobody say nothing about Donald Trump. If you say something about Donald Trump, they're going to go in on you. Period. So let me tell y'all what did happen, right? I want to tell everybody what they did say happened, all right? So what they did say happened was this, you guys, and I want to be very clear about this. Bill Cosby, in that deposition, his deposition took 4 days. I want everybody to know that, right? So, and that was in a civil suit that was filed by Andrea Constant, who accused him of drugging and sexually assaulting her in a Pennsylvania home in January of 2004. Now, the deposition was sealed, y'all. That deposition was sealed, right? As a part of a confidential settlement, but was unsealed in 2015 after a court order. So that deposition, when it was sealed, he thought it would never come to the light ever again. But a court order unsealed it. This is the thing people don't know because they don't study any of these cases, right? They just come on YouTube just talking, right? So portions of that deposition were used against him in the trial back in 2018, you guys, right? Right? Which ended in a conviction and was later overturned on other grounds in 2021, right? In it, Bill Cosby denied non-consensual assault or rape, but made several explicit admissions under oath. First thing he did was, and I told y'all this, and I have his exact words. I have his exact words right here. He admitted to securing 7 prescriptions of Quaaludes, right? Quaaludes, right? In the 70s from the doctor in Los Angeles. He said it was for back pain, but he never took them himself. So he explicitly admitted then he used it for the intent of sex with other women. Question. This is from the deposition. When you got the Quaaludes, right? Was it in your mind that you were going to use these Quaaludes for young women that you wanted to have sex with? He said yes. Question. Why didn't you ever take the Quaaludes? Because I used them. Question. For what? Answer. The same as a person would say, have a drink. Question. You gave them to other people? Answer. Yes. He said he knew the doctor, or the doctor knew he wasn't going to take them himself because Quaaludes were popular as a party drug among young people. And there were times when I wanted to have them just in case. End quote. That's a quote from his own mouth. He admitted he believed it was illegal to dispense the drugs to others, but did it anyways. He admitted that. And this motherfucker gonna come in here and get mad at me. I have the deposition right here in front of me. Right? He also admitted to giving women alcohol and drugs in general before sex. And in Constance's case, giving her 3 pills equivalent to 1.5 Benadryl tablets to help her relax from stress. He admitted that he had a romantic interest in Mrs. Constance from the first time he saw her at Temple University's arena. He invited her to her home, or to his home, gave her pills, and described a sexual encounter he characterized as consensual. He denied full intercourse or R-word, calling it a sexual moment. He said he gave her Benadryl pills after she talked about stress. She examined them and took them. He described touching her bare midriff, right? Then moving his hand lower. Question. So you're not telling us that you verbally asked her for permission? Question mark. His answer, nope. The action is my hand on her midriff, which is skin. I continue to go into the area that is somewhere between permission and rejection. I am not stopped, he said. Y'all want to keep doing this? Y'all want to keep doing this? This is his own words. People don't want to hear this stuff when you speak this stuff, man. It's sad. It truly is. I'm sad. I'm sad. Right? I'm sad. But they don't hit this man for 59 million. Everybody said, why he getting hit for 60 million? Bro, when you say this stuff and they got it on file, it's over with. They got you saying this man got over 10 pending cases. He fitting to pay all these people. Right? The encounter involved digital penetration and fondling her breast and genital area. It lasted several minutes initially. Paused briefly when she said stop or no. After about 4 seconds of further activity, and he stopped. He said she did not appear angry afterwards, did not tell him not to do it again, and walked her out and told her to call when she got home. He later spoke to her mother on the phone and apologized, admitting to digital penetration and offering to pay for her education via a personal family check rather than his foundation to help get back on track. He told her mother it was because he was thinking like a dirty old man with a young girl. That nigga come in here and get mad at me. That nigga said it out his own mouth. I'm reading y'all the quotes from the deposition. This man said this out of his own mouth. He also admitted to multiple affairs on his wife, often with young women, models, aspiring actresses, including some who were 17 through 19 when he met them. He used his fame, offers of career advice, mentorship, and personal interests, right, to pursue them. Beth Ferrier, a model. Consensual affair involving dinners, sex, rendezvous. He ended it simply by stopping calling her, just moving on. He made a deal with the National Enquirer to kill her story in exchange for giving them an exclusive interview. A 19-year-old model who sent him a poem. He confirmed that she pleasured herself or excuse me, she pleasured him with lotion until he squeezed. He admitted using interest in her father's cancer as a part of seducing her. This is Bill Cosby. This is Bill Cosby. He admitted to sexual contact with other women, names often redacted, including one he described as having a romantic interest in while she was still a teenager or young adult. He also denied some specific allegations from other women, certain massage or oral claims, but he admitted the overall pattern of pursuing and having sex with many women outside of his marriage. He also admitted, yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all. He also admitted to using financial maneuvers to conceal these payments and gifts to women from his wife, Camille Cosby, for Mrs. Constand's education support. It would come from the family via personal check, not the foundation. He says my wife would not know it was because Andrea and I had sex, end quote. For the other woman, Teresa, he routed $5,000 through his agent, William Moore's agency. He reimbursed them from his personal account to disguise it. The purpose, to disguise that he was paying, this is his quote, to disguise that you were paying the money to Teresa so Mrs. Cosby wouldn't know. These are the quotes. He generally avoided discussing sexual encounters with anyone, saying women were the ones who would talk. He was sometimes evasive, sarcastic, or jocular during questioning, telling the lawyer, look it up in a dictionary. When asked why something was confidential, or I was waiting for you to stop talking. He denied drugging women without their knowledge or consent in specific cases, but discussed, right? Yep. Oh, I see him in the comments. I see him in the comments. We get to this. I listen. All of these things, right? He denied, but he admitted the broader pattern of providing sedatives with the intent of having sex with these women. This out his own mouth. This out his own mouth. His lawyers later argued that the deposition did not admit to non-consensual sexual activity or R word, to only consensual use of quaaludes in the 70s, right? I can keep going through the whole thing, but it's diabolical work. It truly is. You did? So you get mad at me. Get mad at his own words. And like I said, they hit this man with a $60 million judgment. They are irate about that, bro. He probably thought, hey man, they probably gonna hit me with about 4-5 million, maybe a million. You know what I'm saying? Something light. He didn't think they was gonna hit him for the gusto. I'm telling you, he didn't think that. He didn't think that. He didn't think that. Right? So I'm just being real with y'all, man, and just standing on business. So when they say, hey, Ticket, man, what's up with Bill? Man, listen, bro. I wish he would have never even I wish none of this stuff would ever happen. But Bill Cosby cheating on his wife. Look what happened with his whole situation, bro. That ruins the whole family like that. When you at that level, bro, you gotta move different when you at that type of level. You dealing with that type of money. Or else they gonna come take it all from you. They gonna come take it all from you. If you don't move different, they gonna take it all from you. So that man said this dude got over 10 more cases. That's going to, so if his net worth is 120 something and one case is getting 60 million, man. And he said that man was intending to leave something for his family. They finna try and wipe that all out. Why? Because of stuff that he admitted, as far as he put himself in a situation where he admitted to giving women pills with the intention of having sex. You heard Barack Obama speak on that shit. Like, that's crazy. You got Whoopi Goldberg, the president, all these people. Bro, once you got all them people speaking out, and again, I grew up liking the Bill Cosby show. I don't have a problem with the show. Me personally, I can take my personal feelings out of you as an actor in your show versus you in real life, because I don't know you in real life. I only know what we see. I don't know you in real life. Right? I don't know you in real life. That just is what it is. I don't know you in real life. So these are all truths that's being told. So, you know, like I said, man, y'all have to let me know, man. You know, but a lot of people, and I don't understand how people can get mad at me when all I'm doing is just playing what they said. It wasn't me who said this stuff about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson said this. But people get mad at you when you point this stuff out. And I say, yo, I'm not comfortable with that. And then mofo will get mad at you. Hey, man, come on, man. How you going to be talking about Mike? Man, the man said himself that Michael Jackson himself said. Michael Jackson said this in the Martin Bashir interview. Out of his own mouth. He said that if you had a problem with him sleeping with your kids, you're wacky. And he don't see no problem with it at all. I'm sorry, bro. I don't move like that, man. I don't rock with that. I don't care what your name is. I don't give a fuck how many hits you put out, what you did, bro. Listen, man. Morals and ethics got a standard, period. You understand? It got a standard. Point blank, period. Right? That is what it is. Maybe my standards are different than yours. I don't respect no. When you talking about messing with youth, when you talking about violating people and stuff, I'm not with that, man. I'm not with that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't be respecting these cats who be doing all this, you know, capping for Donald Trump. I don't respect it. These people know Donald Trump is a grade A capper. They know this. But it's like you praise and worship people that you like. It's all about who you like. I heard the brother Kwame Brown say that he ain't lying. It's all about who you like. So him being upset about that $60 million judgment and them wanting to get that overturned, you know.
Hey guys, Ticket really hopes you enjoyed the content. There will be a link in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat room where you can go to the Ticket TV merch shop and purchase the exclusive merchandise for men and women. Thanks for your support, and he appreciates all sales.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.